Module 2, Lesson 1, APIs. We have to implement header changes from a simple authentication application. We can test it with Postman and from the browsers. Let's start. I've used the database authentication application that we did in the databases course. The code that's there. So I'm just going to open up that code and go through the normal steps. npm install and make sure that my database stuff is set up correct. So here's our normal .env. Let's just rename this .env. Rename the file .env, and we've got a database username, password. The database that we use, we can use the same database, or we can create a new one. Let's create a new one, and let's call this lesson 2, and our host is localhost. Save it, and then create the database. Create the database, create the user and password, and then we can continue. We need to install the .env for the environment, and let's run it and see if we have any errors, and we're good. If we open up Firefox, go to localhost, we can, if it's a new database, we have to do a sign up. So let's just sign up. FJ and the first name, FJ and password, and sign up. And if we log in, we should be able to get to hotels, and we can add new hotels. Okay, great. So our authentication is still working. For this example, we have to create we're going to create a new view. We don't have to create a view. We just have to create a root, and let's call this pages.js, and we're going to have to want to do a get. But we can set our headers, and we're going to do a /. Remember, we have to do our initialization of our root and express to be able to do this. Require express, and our router is express router, and then we need to remember to export it. Module exports router. Let's add the root to our app. It's called pages, and let's just create pages and add the root to pages. And just our endpoint as pages. Once we've done that, let's restart our application, see if we get any errors. We don't get any errors, that's great. And let's go to pages. So what are we going to do in pages? We're going to check if the user is logged in. So if the request user equals null, meaning the user did not log in, we're going to set the headers content type to application JSON. And then we're going to send it. And what are we going to send? Let's send let's do a button with a style of width of 100 pixels and height of 100 pixels. And then we need to close our button, and we need to give it a name. And let's just call it, this is my button. Okay, so if we restart our application and we go to, firstly, if we refresh this, we still have access. We're going to go to pages and we can see that we have, this is my button. If we go to Postman, and we go to pages with the GET request, we don't get it because pages is spelled wrong and it's just send. We get our text back, and if we look at our headers, our reheaders, our content type is application JSON. So that is great. Let's delete our session. Okay, so let's just stop the application and delete our session and restart it. We go to pages, we see we have a JSON object here. We've set our headers to be JSON now because the user is not logged in. If we look at our headers, we can see we have content type application JSON. And if we go to login page, login with FJ and password, and we navigate to pages and we control F5 because the cache is still saved there, we see that this is my button.